There's no denying we live in a fast-paced world, pursuing instant gratification and perfection. Digital technologies have become an essential part of this pursuit. From social media to online shopping, our lives have been digitized in every way imaginable, including photography. Which begs the question, why do some of us still enjoy film photography? It's not quick, it's certainly not flawless, but we still love it. Welcome to my course. My name is Satya Peacock, and I'm a documentary and portrait photographer based in London, England. I've been taking photos for over 6 years now, and I've dabbled in many different genres in that time. A few years ago, I received an old Fujica, which is a Fujifilm camera, as a gift when I started shooting film, and I've never looked back. Now, to answer this question of why film is making a comeback, I think it's a combination of tactile experience that you only get with film. The physicality of a negative that was there with you in that moment that you decided to capture forever, and the limitation in frames forces you to be more present and take in your surroundings more fully. It saves you a ton of time later on too in post-production. Instead of looking at hundreds and hundreds of images at the end of your day, if you've shot digital, with the film camera you have maybe 36 shots in total, or if you're shooting medium format it could be 16 or 10 even. And I'd be wrong to not mention the aesthetic of film photos. Even a photo that was taken last week makes us feel nostalgic, and they're quite emotive. As a result of these reasons, I believe film photography not only gives us a unique visual language, but also helps us enjoy the process of photography more. It feels more fulfilling while bringing you back to the basics of simply capturing light on your film. In this course, we'll look at the basics involved in film photography, some key skills, and also a couple of advanced methods towards the end. If you're new to film photography or photography in general, or you've been a digital shooter for a while and want to get into film photography, this course is designed to give you all the tools you need to start making the images you want on film. So that was the intro for my film photography course over on Skillshare. The idea for this course is very simple. I wanted to have all the fundamentals of film photography or photography in general in one place where beginner or intermediate photographers can go from never having shot film before to shooting film and manipulating the variables that affect the final output to get the images the way they want. So yeah, we talk about film chemistry and then move on to ISO, aperture, shutter speed, their relationship with each other, talk about metering, talk about manual focusing and some tips, lens markings and how to use them, dynamic range, depth of field, and then some advanced methods like long exposure and exposure bracketing in the end. With the link in my bio, you'll get a free 1 month of Skillshare membership where you can watch this course and other courses that you're interested in. So please make sure to use that link and also share it with your friends and family who would be interested in learning anything on Skillshare really. But before I go, I want to share a lesson from this course. Right, if you're shooting with a film SLR camera, chances are most of them are manual focusing cameras, which means two elements need to work in tandem. You have to focus on your subject manually using the focusing ring on your lens, and you're doing this while looking through the viewfinder and making sure that your subject is in focus. There is a third element which is not required to focus properly, but is a decision that you need to make. These manual lenses usually come with two rings, one to control the aperture as we already saw, and one to control focus. In our earlier lesson, we talked about how aperture, in addition to controlling the intensity of light that hits your film, also controls the depth of field. What is a depth of field? It's basically how much of your image in the 3D space is going to be in focus. When you see images like this, only a very small part of this entire range is in focus, so your depth of field is pretty thin. foreground and background are completely out of focus, and a lot of light is being let in. But what happens when you close down the aperture more? It increases the depth of field, and as you can see, a lot more of the 3D space is in focus, meaning the depth of field is quite thick. But don't worry, the more you shoot, the more this becomes second nature. You'll know what f-stop you'd like to use or need to use depending on the situation. For now, it's just helpful to understand that the aperture controls not just how much light is being let in, but also how much of the 3D space is going to be in focus. So in summary, to manually focus, you need the help of a viewfinder on your camera and a manual focusing ring on your lens. The third thing that's good to understand and consider is how much of your image is in focus, aka depth of field. And this is controlled by the aperture. All right, thank you for watching. I hope to see you on class discussions over at Skillshare. Take care. Bye.